moviegoers. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Christian and welcome to C-Roll Productions. You guys, Spider-Man Far From Home comes out literally in the next month or so, and I am so excited to see where they take this story and what happens post Endgame. We've had 3 snaps in the 616 universe, right, with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What kind of dimensions did this shit crack open? 3 snaps. You got Thanos' snap, and then you had Bruce's snap, which everybody fucking always forgets about, and then you have Tony's snap. Literally, those 3 snaps opened up a huge interdimension type ordeal, creating the multiverse, you know, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, with that being said, what do I want to see? I want to see, you know, mentions or some kind of cameos, you know, in Far From Home. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of the Daily Bugle, huge fan of J. Jonah Jameson. Like, I want that so much. I want that relationship between Peter and J. Jonah Jameson in the MCU so much, because I loved and adored it, what they did with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. Between, you know, those 2 characters, they just fed off each other so well, and I loved it. It was so comic booky. Like, I want that, you know, going forward in the MCU. J. Jonah Jameson. Now, casting him. Obviously, you know, if they don't mention him, or they do mention him, you know, maybe for the 3rd Spider-Man film, they can actually cast him. I have 3 picks, obviously. Number 1 would be J.K. Simmons again. J.K. Simmons really embodied that character. He literally was so perfect for that role. It was unbelievable. I would love to have him come back. I think he's done with the DCU anyways. Like, I don't think he's coming back to do, you know, Gordon again. I think that entire thing is scrapped. Ice Cube would play a good J. Jonah Jameson, or Terry Crews. I feel like either of those 3 would fit perfectly in the MCU, and I would love to see any of those castings. Now, a little history on J. Jonah Jameson and the Daily Bugle. Well, Jonah started working at the Bugle as a part-time copy boy while in high school. When the Bugle came up for sale, Jonah scrapped all the money together to purchase the struggling paper. So, obviously, I think we'll get, you know, the adult version of Jonah, and, you know, him coming into New York City with the Daily Bugle and things of that nature, and really trying to, not even, because Jonah doesn't care about fitting in. He's going to be who he is. If you know who J. Jonah Jameson is, you know who he is. You know what kind of character he is. He's a pompous asshole. He really is. But he's very much enjoyable. And I want to see, like, Peter evolve as a character. When we're talking about his character arc, like, stop relying on Tony and the suits. Let's create some of your own stuff. You're a smart kid. You're a scientist. Like, let's get some of that side of Peter as well. Freelance photographer. Let's get that aspect of the character as well. Like, in the comics, like, he's always been a photographer, and we've yet to see anything like that in the MCU thus far. Now, hence that they're going on not vacation. They're going, you know, yeah, he's going on vacation. He even said it in the trailer. Like, they're going on vacation. Bring a camera. Like, let's start to see some of that. I want to see some of that character building for Peter as well. And then eventually, you know, he can intern, you know, at the Daily Bugle and things like that. And I want to see that relationship between Peter and J. Jonah Jameson. I really do. I enjoyed that relationship so much. And that's some of the character arc that I love so much about Peter, you know. Obviously, you know, wow. What grade would he be in? Let's say he's a junior in high school, right? You know, a senior year, obviously. You know, he's like, well, I need to start working. Let me freelance for the Daily Bugle. Could work out. And then eventually they can, you know, incorporate Robbie Robertson. Robbie, he was the heavier set black guy in the original Spider-Man movies. You know, he was always trying to stay objective about Spider-Man and trying to help Peter and think on the bright side and be positive about who Spider-Man really was. And then even, like, you know, a little mention or a cameo, not even a cameo, a mention of Norman Osborn and Harry. Like, Oscorp Industries should be the next huge thing in New York City. Stark Tower's out, the Avengers Tower's out. You have two buildings you can put in there. The Daily Bugle or Oscorp. Like, huge things I want to see going further in the MCU. You like Harry, like I want to see that so much. And I want to see how, Peter would juggle relationship between meeting a new best friend as Harry Osborn and then juggling, Ned being jealous and things like that. Like, stuff I would like to see in the future, Spider-Man world in the MCU. I feel like that would be great. It really would be cool. And then even potentially, the Sinister Six, because I have a feeling they're leading towards that route. I really do. I have a feeling they're leading towards the route. The original Sinister Six is Doc Ock, Electro, Vulture, Mysterio, Sandman, and Kraven. Obviously, we haven't mentioned anything about Kraven, Electro, or Doc Ock. So what do we have? Vulture, Mysterio, and Sandman. Sandman is supposed to be in this movie along with Hydra Man and Molten Man. So, but what villains have we introduced so far in the MCU for Spider-Man? Vulture, Mysterio, Shocker, Scorpion was at the end of Homecoming, and there's a supposed chameleon in this movie. And then you have the elementals with the Sandman, the Molten Man, Hydra Man, and things of that nature. But I think they'd go with more of a bigger character arc when we're talking villains. So definitely, I think we have 4 of them so far. Vulture, Mysterio, Shocker, Scorpion. We need 2 more. I think they're going to introduce Dr. Octopus and, gosh, who knows? Dr. Octopus and probably Electro. I can see it happening. I would love to see another iteration of Dr. Octopus. Because in Spider-Man 2, that Dr. Octopus was just fucking sick. He was awesome, and I loved it so much. But yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. Those are little things or mentions or cameos that I would potentially like to see in Spider-Man Far From Home. Daily Beagle, J. Jonah Jameson, Norman Osborn, Harry Osborn, Oscorp Industries, the Sinister Six, things like that is what I'd like to see, in Spider-Man Far From Home. There's going to be a lot of Easter eggs, so, got to keep your eyes open out for that, because you never know what you're going to see when we're talking about Easter eggs, because I'm pretty sure I missed a bunch of Easter eggs as well. Like in this first Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, there was a bunch of like Easter eggs that I missed that I found out. I was like, oh shit, I didn't see that, so things I'd like to see, you guys. But post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. What would you like to see mentioned or even possibly cameoed in Spider-Man Far From Home? Post your comments down below, you guys, and thank you for taking time today for watching Zero Productions. Peace.